He is a New York Times best-selling author who's also the founder, president, and CEO of FUBU, founder of the Shark Group, and also one of the sharks on Shark Tank. Season 10 premieres Sunday, October 7th at 10 p.m. Eastern on ABC. Good to see you, Daymond John.
Thank you for having me, Rich.
You bet. Like I said to the TV audience, you were in our New York digs. Welcome to our Los Angeles digs.
Very cool in here. A lot of leather.
Thank you. Leather is with us here on the Rich Eisen Show studio here in Los Angeles. First things first, Shark Tank returns on Sunday, October 7th. How is it doing this show? How many years have you done? Are you an original shark?
I am an original shark. I was the first shark to put my feet on the stage. It's been 10 years. You know, we got people coming on there saying I was a kid and I grew up on Shark Tank. I mean, that doesn't make me feel great in some senses, but it makes me feel amazing in others.
Right, I know that there's staying power, but then again, there's been some staying. And it's a powerful feel when somebody says that to you.
Exactly.
Hey, I was in grade school when I first started watching you. And how has it changed? How has it changed, do you think, at all?
I think it's changed in various ways. You know, if you really think about it, when we came out in '08, social media conversion was not out there. You know, I don't even think Instagram was started. I know that Facebook may have been, or maybe Instagram was out. You know, the people pitching know the sharks. We have no idea who they are. So they're coming in there with an idea who they want to work with. They know how to push out buttons. You know, they can, it's just, it's changed in so many different ways. We have a lot of other guest sharks now who bring another, way of thinking and the fundamentals of business. We can object or agree, but however, there's new sharks. And, after I sit there 10 years and listen to Kevin O'Leary with a couple of royalty deals, I get numb to it, right?
Right.
But if Bethany comes in there, who is a very successful businesswoman, and she has a different way of thinking about something, or we can either lock horns or totally agree on it.
A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez?
A-Rod's been really great. Yeah, I haven't sat on a panel with him. Meaning in the tank, we've sat on other panels. But it's really amazing. I mean, the show is. Oh, we have this year. Ring, the guy from Ring, Jamie, he came into the tank, I think 6 years ago or 5 years ago. He had an idea. We all shot him down. He would go off and sell his company for $1.1 billion, and now he's a shark.
So he was in the tank
pitching.
Got rejected.
I mean, Kevin gave him a royalty deal. He would say today, and he has said it several times, that, you know what, my valuation was crazy. I didn't know what I was doing at the time.
Right.
But he would go off and he would build his company, sell it for $1.1 billion to Amazon. That's with a B, not million. And now he is a guest shark.
Now he's a shark. That must have been a good day for him coming.
That's a good day. That's a good day for everybody, because you know what? It shows that the sharks. Nobody can judge you but God, and we can only say to you, if the investment works for us,
yes,
go out and prove us wrong. Right. We don't know everything.
So which one, Daymond John here on the Rich Eisen Show, which one that you said yes to, that you helped and fostered, are you most proud of over your 10 years?
I'm not going to say most proud of, but one of my top ones is a company called Bombas Socks. Every time you buy a sock, they give a pair away to the homeless, because that's a big challenge in the homeless shelters, to care for people's feet. And, they started off in the tank doing about $800,000 a year. Now they're doing an average of, I think, 50 or 60 million a year. And they've given away 10 million socks to people in need. It's not only given me a great return on my capital, but it's also showed me that, today's consumer, they want to know, what are you doing for other people if you're going to purchase something, if they're going to purchase something from you.
And then let's turn to a business deal that seems to have gone down in the world of shoes, sneakers, apparel.
Yeah.
That involves social activism.
Sure.
I'd love to know what your thoughts are on Nike choosing Colin Kaepernick to be the face of their 30th anniversary Just Do It campaign.
I was very, very excited when it happened. I was told many people, about it publicly. And, now we can talk about how it has positively affected, their stock numbers. But at the end of the day, I love what they did. Because this is the first time you ever saw a major corporation jump on the side of somebody who's having these social issues at the time they were having it. As a major company, they could have waited. If it was 40 years ago and this was Muhammad Ali, Billie Jean King, or Arthur Ashe, everybody would have waited for a while and said, let's see how the dust settles. And we don't want to take opportunity take advantage of this right now and or bring light to it. But they did it right away in the moment. And the stock numbers have shown, what it is. But let's think about the reality of this. The people who may have protested or feel, uneasy about what they believe, Kaepernick is trying to do, which they may be inaccurate, talking about our great men and women in the service. They may be a little older right now, and Nike's selling to kids who are 10 to 25 years old. And, I don't care if you're 50 years old, if you're going out buying three brand new pair of sneakers at $180 a piece, you're an idiot, right? But the people they're selling to are rebelling within the system. And they're communicating 10 times more than the people who are a little more older or mature. My age, I'm not buying 10 pair of sneakers.
Well, so what do you attribute this decision making to? Do you think that they followed their social activist heart, or they actually did some number crunching before they did something?
They're a big corporation. They did some number crunching at first, and I think then they brought it to the board and everybody else, and they probably said, let's look at Nike. They're doing $35 billion a year. $15 billion of that money is, international money. They couldn't care less who kneels and or stands for our flag. So now they had the $20 billion of their core customer in the United States. They probably lost about $3 billion in those people who said, okay, this is not something for us. We disagree. But they probably gained, instead of that, and replaced it with another $5 to $8 billion worth of consumers fighting within the system. So I think that, number one, it was a good play that they did by crunching the numbers. But number two, they also did, go a little bit with let's go outside of the grain and let's ride with this.
Well, because Daymond John from Shark Tank, also the president, CEO, founder of FUBU, founder of the Shark Group, brand management and consulting firm here on the Rich Eisen Show, that Kaepernick is suing the NFL right now.
Yeah.
And the NFL
collusion, right?
Collusion, and that case is moving forward. And I picked up a lot of the numbers that you just threw out there. Do you think any concern of having a face of their campaign be somebody who's suing? One would think, I don't know what their numbers are compared to what college football brings in or college basketball brings in, the face of somebody who's suing their main partner in the professional football world.
I do think that there was a big concern there, and I think that they rolled the dice on this situation. But now let's think about this: if the NFL would have then given them a backlash over that, it's a nasty rabbit hole that they would have went down. So today, what I look at it is the current version of FUBU. FUBU was for a culture, and you see a guy or a girl wearing FUBU across the street, you knew they were into hip hop. Today, now you see somebody who's walking on to the Emmys, or Jim Carrey walking on and showing that he has Nikes. You're like, you know what? They're rebelling within the system. You know who they are without even speaking. You know how they think if they have a brand new pair of Nikes. But it was a big risk they took.
Do you think that this will lend more, I guess, courage is a word, but or more conviction of corporate America to think of making a business deal with social activism in a way? Absolutely.
It will also give more fuel to social activism, meaning the other athletes will believe that if they're if they can do it, that maybe they'll have other ways to feed their families off of standing up for what they believe in. So yeah, it's a big risk. But now all the other companies are going to follow suit and start saying, "Wow, look at these numbers." Like we need to stand behind something. And that's not easy to stand behind something because there's always two sides of the coin.
Right. Daymond John here on the Rich Eisen Show. And so when it all comes down to it, when you built your business and see the way that Nike is doing their business, do you think that this might even lend Colin Kaepernick to lend his name to other companies as well? Do you think others
100%, because now he has validation, right?
It's amazing.
He has validation.
Amazing how this might be a game changer in a way.
This is a huge, huge game changer in the world of business. Yes, absolutely.
Huh. How many people come up to you and pitch you on ideas? Just off, just when you're sitting around on the street?
Not including my mother, probably about, you know.
So your mom is pitching you?
Mom pitches me all the time, you know. Probably about 40, maybe about 30 people a day.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, about 30 people a day.
So have you been pitched today? Has anybody pitched you yet today?
No, it's pretty early in the morning. No.
Okay, so can we get you your first pitch? Can we give you a first pitch here, Daymond?
Absolutely, I'm ready to rock.
I appreciate you saying that. Mike Del Tufo, who, by the way, just in terms of his branding, he's got a Nike swoosh on today, as you could see.
Shoes and hat.
Okay.
Right on, right on.
and in terms of him understanding branding, he wants to be known around here as the audio executive.
All right, brother.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
What is your technical term? What is your official, like?
Audio engineer.
Audio engineer.
But I like the executive.
He wants to be known as audio executive.
Audio executive.
Okay.
I like it. I like it.
Now,
all right.
Now
I've been doing it for 40 years.
Now he pitched Kevin O'Leary about a year ago.
And what did Kevin say about that pitch?
I should literally be crying still.
Yeah, he was in a fetal position within a couple of minutes.
Yes.
So here we go. Mike Del Tufo, we have set up a standing mic for you to pitch.
Let's go, buddy.
Daymond John of
All
Shark
right,
Tank, available again with the rest of the Sharks on Sunday, October 7th, 10 p.m. Eastern Time on ABC. Mike Del Tufo, you now have the floor with Daymond John to pitch him on this brilliant idea.
Daymond, I have a great idea. The last idea I didn't like as much, even though I kind of came in with it a little bit with guns blazing. But this one, sports betting is now back. Gambling is coming back. It's gonna be all over America. So it's gonna be legal in states. It's gonna be legal in cities. It's gonna be gigantic. So I thought of an idea in the last 12 hours, actually, which these guys are laughing about. Why don't we have sports bars that are set up with the gambler in mind, with iPads? Eventually, it's going to be legal everywhere. With iPads where they can place the bets. They can bring their kids, because we make it like a Chuck E. Cheese meets a Dave & Buster's. The kids can play with the games they want to do. You put up the sports bet, just like you see in Vegas. You got the sports bet walls, the monitors. You tailor them to cities. New York is tailored for the Yankees, the Rangers, the Mets, the Nets, the Knicks. Chicago's Bears, you know, you got it, Bulls. LA's got the Clippers. You build rooms where people that want to go and watch, you know, they build it with like jerseys hanging from those teams, so that people go there and they feel like, I can watch my team here, have a good time, but I can also gamble. And I can come to a place where other people that are like me are gambling, and then you could have incentives. You pick a team, you pick an over-under, you get a free drink if you're right, you pick a halftime score. Well, anything that happens like that. What do you think?
Yeah, so you're asking, should you know, people who are alcoholics and gambling degenerates bring their kids with them to?
Yes, I mean they.
Well, I mean it would be. Look, I mean, when you're trying to place a bet and watch a game, what do you do with the kids? Maybe you bring them and they're in a separate room. It's a non-smoking
Have
room.
you ever been shopping with your kids?
I don't have kids, but I have shopped with my nieces and nephews.
Yeah. So you don't. So you know, the reason why people don't generally go shopping with their kids, because the kids, you know, are a pain in the ass. And they take them out of the store. So you know, have you ever been to Vegas?
Oh, yeah.
And you've seen the people at the slot machines for 19 hours, the women who are doing nickel slot machines?
Yes.
If they had children with them, then they would be, you know, they wouldn't be there any longer. So you have a couple of challenges there. Number one, you wouldn't get the customer to retain to be there long enough because the kid's going to be annoying them. And then if they're drinking alcohol, they'll start probably beating the kids.
Oh, God. So, but
let's say we go just for the degenerates.
Yeah, remove the child care.
Remove the child thing, because I have two degenerates in the room right now.
What do you think
Eric, our researcher, and
Chris
Brockman.
Vegas.
But they have to go to Vegas if you wanted to do it like just in Los Angeles and New York.
Yeah, I mean that's true. But yeah.
Is there a kernel of an idea here? Do you think?
Is it what?
Is there a kernel of an idea?
Not at all. But I'm just
nothing.
No, nothing here at all. You know, booze and gambling. I mean, all you're missing at that point is prostitution in the place. I mean, to really keep it sticky in various ways. But I don't think it's gonna happen.
Nah.
All right, Mike.
But I love the way you work the audio. I mean, it's really amazing.
I tried.
You should hear. He referred to himself as the Bill Walsh of audio because he's got so many great sound people across Los Angeles that he has created like a coaching tree.
They won't admit it though. That's the bad part.
I like your style though. We're gonna go out and get some drinks and roll some craps later on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mike Del Tufo. Well done.
Good effort, Mike.
See, now you were much nicer than
that was nice. Kevin O'Leary was worse than that.
That's
horrible.
Kevin O'Leary.
He was not nice.
No, it
was
bad.
worse than that. Well, the idea that he pitched Kevin O'Leary was an app that your loved ones check in. It allows you every single time your loved one's on the phone, it checks in to make sure that you know that they're okay.
Well, that's the problem.
Alive.
That's the problem. Kevin O'Leary doesn't have any loved ones, so he can relate to that.
Now I know why he didn't like the app.
He just told Mike to call his mother. Is what he told him. He says, you need to call your mother more. Thanks again for coming on. The show is awesome. Good to see you, Daymond John.
Thank you.
Good
Thanks
to
for
see
having
you.
me, Rich.
At the Shark Daymond on Twitter if you want to follow Daymond John on Twitter. And, of course, follow The Exploits of Shark Tank, premiering Sunday, October 7th at 10 p.m. Eastern on ABC.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.